Welcome to Titan Sports Time. I'm Mike Parsons, Manager of Athletic Communications at Eastern Florida State College, and today I'm joined by women's basketball player Natalia Beaumont. Beaumont played in 5 games before injuring her knee and averaged 17 points and 9 rebounds before the injury. Welcome to the show, Natalia.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, I guess first of all, let's just talk about the injury. How is your knee doing, and what was the hardest part of the rehab process?
My knee's doing really good at the moment. I put a lot of hard work and discipline into my rehabilitation process. Honestly, when I first got injured, it was heartbreaking finding out I had to redshirt the season, but I knew I was around good people. I had a good support network, and just with my determination and mindset, I knew that I was going to bounce back from it. The hardest part for me was when COVID hit and I had to get sent home. My rehabilitation process was a bit scary during these unknown times. I wasn't sure if we were going to have another season. I didn't have access to my physical trainers that I did here, and I was quite scared just because so much was unknown. And when I was able to come back here, it got me back into a routine, and I was around the people who were supporting me from my first early days of my injury. And now I'm healthy and I'm ready for season to start.
And now that you are back, talk about heading into the season. You have to be really excited to finally be back on the court.
Yeah, it's a long time coming. It feels like my injury was yesterday when I was on crutches, and at the same time it feels like decades ago. And when I am back on the court, having those two completely different sides of the spectrum of a mindset, it's like when I find myself just short of a rebound or just not being able to be exactly where I want to be because of my high standards, I have to remind myself of how far I've come. And I did have a huge surgery, so it's being kind to myself, and not only that, just being thankful we do have a season, because there were many times we were uncertain we would have a season. We were uncertain that would be a thing. Yeah.
Teams look pretty good in practice. What have you kind of seen from the group?
We definitely have a very special group. We pass the ball around really well. We're a young team, but we have a few returners, including myself, and the adversity we had to overcome last year has really built us up to lead this team. And we have a lot to fight for and a lot of redemption that we need to achieve. So we have a good mindset as well. We're positive, and what we faced as a whole team with COVID, having to go into quarantine, come out of it, not having contact, and for our season to start up, we're ready to go, we're hungry, and we're ready to do great things.
And you get the chance to play with your sister, who is a freshman this season, Tatiana. So
Yeah.
Just talk about how special it is to get to share the court with her.
We played together back home in Australia. Within that system, it's very different to the American system of just playing high school basketball. And when I came to college last season, it was nice. And then being able to play with my sister this year when she was offered, I was like, wow, like it's not every day you get to experience college basketball with your sister, with your sibling. And because we have built that chemistry and that same love for basketball over the years, and I'm just excited to play with her again. It's been a long time and a surprise. Yeah.
And you're a big boxing fan. What drew you into the sport of boxing?
Oh gosh. I have a local gym back home in Australia, and they started up boxing classes, and I'm like, hey, I'm just going to check this out, see what it's all about. And when I did start up, my trainer really took me under his wing and just worked with me, and he's like, hey, would you consider doing this as a profession, or consider training amateur, and I might be able to line up some fights for you. That's what he said, and I loved it. I was working towards it. Obviously, basketball was my main focus and priority in life, but I still love it till today, and I'll never turn down a fight, I guess.
And then finally, you have the nickname Monty around here. Where did that kind of come from?
Okay, so my name is Natalia, and I'm not a big fan of being called Nat, being shortened down to that. So I'm like, okay, like what's a good nickname I can come up with? So my last name's Beaumont, and like, hey, Mont, like Monty. So okay, like it sticks, and I've been Monty for two years now. Yeah.
Well, you can watch Monty and the women's basketball team this season on EFSC Titans YouTube page. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.